like fucking mush.
Do you understand me?
Yep.
He's on the stern.
I'll have a look. Your friends will be really happy to see you.
3.
Oh shit, Bob!
You're welcome.
Good to be back. Thanks.
Hey, puta!
I got him.
Ready for prisoner exchange.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Creative!
Got it.
Driving lead. Take on as a Overwatch and make less of them.
Tell me.
What is it, say this? I repeat, wait for backup.
What the fuck is he doing?
No!
Sir, let's go. Load up!
Vermont's got. What do you need, a CNI dog?
Wonder, you might want to get that prescription checked.
Looks like we're making our entrance! Woohoo!
6 months sober.
Can you lose them?
Split up. Going on in there?
On Vermont! What the fuck, Easy? Initials?
compromised. Deliver a mod, leave with those
Detonators.
Get in, losers! We're going fire in the hole, fellas! Incoming! Damn it, Barney!
Oh, man, get the detonators.
Fuck no, I'm saving your dumb ass.
Nice work, man, but who...
Sneaky little sausage.
All my friends.
Location.
Get to
What?
He's on the stern.
I'll have a look. Your friends will be really happy to see you.
3. Oh shit, Bob!
You're welcome.
Good to be back. Thanks.
Hey, puta!
I got him.
third change. 3 minutes.
I see you like to play with. Come and get it, hero. my body.
Hello, bye.
12 minutes.
We never make it out of the blast zone.
Hey, you're not going down.
I got an idea. We can...
What's that?
Yeah.
Gunner, give us...
So what? The nuke is about a promotion. Hey, you're welcome.
The fuck is happening?
Come on, get my rifle.
What's he saying?
Said,
This American...
the money! Blow it!
Let's go. Come on.
Come on! Hey! Let's do it!
Or I'll put a bullet through her eye.
Inside. So why the...
Let's pay. Now! Don't!
Last chance. Let the hostage...
Hey!
I'll take the far on the left.
Live on! I don't care!
We'll see.
You want the money?
We'll let you go.
It's good, Jang.
Not polite enough?
Shouldn't have...
I'm done with it.
Ah!
I still want to flat all your balls. I'm not perfect.
For your family, right?
My turn!
¿Qué haces aquí?
Banhos de Vilena.
¡Tu fuerza divertida!
Plane.
No, I can't leave. Not with you. You go. Please go.
You look nervous. Yeah.
Ryan down!
Algo caliente, mira.
Nobody's gonna hurt you. Get your move. What?
10 minutes. It's gonna be like fucking mush.
Well,
Tough guy! Look!
And I'll catch
the break.
Do you understand me? Yep.
Come on, get my rifle.
Shit! Your way out.
Quieren a matar a este país. Perdóname.
What's he saying?
Kill this American.
The money! Blow it!
Let's go. Come on.
Come on! Hey! Next to
Or I'll put a bullet through her eye. Tied you, didn't they? I'm stupid to surrender to the agency. And then they wanted me out. What? But what about me and you inside? So why the...
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the explosive world of the Expendables from 2010. Get ready for a testosterone-fueled ride filled with familiar faces, improbable stunts, and more explosions than a 4th of July fireworks factory. We're talking about a lineup that reads like a who's who of 80s and 90s action royalty brought together for one last, glorious hurrah. It's like your favorite childhood action figures decided to unionize and go on an epic mission. So buckle up, because we're about to break down every punch, every quip, and every gratuitous slow-motion shot. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more. Our journey kicks off with a bang, literally, as we find the Expendables deep in the heart of Somalia. Rescuing some hostages from a particularly nasty group of pirates. Barney Ross, played by the ever-stony Sylvester Stallone, leads the charge, looking as if he's just woken up from a pleasant nap only to find himself in a gunfight. Lee Christmas, Jason Statham's character, is, of course, doing what he does best, making knife throws look like an Olympic sport. The pirates, bless their hearts, are completely outmatched. They're firing their aches with all the accuracy of a stormtrooper, while our heroes are picking them off with surgical precision. It's less a battle and more a highly efficient extermination. As the team works to secure the hostages, things get a little spicy, thanks to Gunnar Jensen, Dolph Lundgren's character. Now, Gunnar let's just say he's got a few loose screws. He's supposed to provide cover, but instead, he goes full berserker, spraying bullets everywhere like he's trying to win a prize for most expended ammunition. The sheer chaotic joy on his face as he unleashes hell is both terrifying and oddly endearing. Barney has to physically intervene, and you can practically hear the collective sigh of relief from the other Expendables as Gunnar is finally brought under control. This is not exactly textbook hostage extraction, but hey, it gets the job done. Mostly. Just when you think the dust has settled, we get a reminder that explosions are a core tenet of this movie's philosophy. Toll Road, played by Randy Couture, has a truly spectacular near-death experience involving a truck, a timed explosive, and some impressive leaping skills. The concussive blast hits hard, and he's clearly rattled, cementing his fear of explosions, which, honestly, in this line of work, is a bit like a chef being afraid of fire. They scramble onto their heavily armed plane, which looks more like a flying tank. The sheer amount of weaponry strapped to that thing could probably start its own small war. Another successful, albeit incredibly noisy and high-casualty, mission for the boys. Back on the plane, the tension is thicker than a cheap action movie plot. Barney finally has it out with Gunnar, who's still riding that adrenaline high a little too hard. Gunnar's insubordination and danger to the team have finally crossed a line. In a move that's both inevitable and surprisingly sad, Barney unceremoniously kicks Gunnar off the team. It's a harsh but necessary decision, given that accidentally shooting your teammates isn't usually in the job description for elite mercenaries. Gunnar, ever the charmer, responds by getting aggressive, forcing Yin Yang to step in with a swift kick that sends Gunnar tumbling out of the plane's open bay door, onto a convenient net, of course. Team dynamics, am I right? Back in the comparative calm of New Orleans, we catch up with the team at Tool's tattoo parlor. Tool, played by the legendary Mickey Rourke, isn't just a tattoo artist. He's the team's conscience, their philosopher, and probably their therapist all rolled into one heavily inked package. Barney's getting some fresh ink, specifically an ode to his brotherhood with the team, which is a surprisingly tender moment in a film otherwise dedicated to mayhem. Tool shares a poignant story about a woman he knew, reflecting on the psychological toll their life takes. It's a rare moment of introspection amidst all the explosions, reminding us that even these hardened warriors carry baggage heavier than their ammo belts. Barney's troubled sleep gives us a glimpse into the internal scars these guys carry, even if they're outwardly impervious to bullets. Then he's summoned to a meeting that could only be described as peak action movie. He walks into a dimly lit church, because, of course, and there he finds Church, a shadowy CIA operative played by Bruce Willis, and to everyone's surprise, Trench Mouser, portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is less a meeting and more an ego clash of titanic proportions, with enough star power to light up a small city. Church has a simple proposition: eliminate a rogue general in the fictional South American country of Vilna. Church lays out the mission with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. General Garza, the iron-fisted dictator of Vilna, is bad news, and Church wants him permanently retired. He offers a hefty sum of cash, which, for a mercenary, is usually all the motivation needed. But Barney, being the discerning action hero he is, initially refuses. He's not a fan of being strong-armed. Trench, meanwhile, delivers some classic Arnie one-liners before making his theatrical exit, leaving Barney to chew on the offer. It's clear Church isn't taking no for an answer, implying there will be repercussions if Barney doesn't comply. This isn't just a job, it's an ultimatum. After some serious brooding, because what's an action hero without a good brood? Barney finally agrees to Church's terms. It's less about the money and more about the or else implied in Church's tone, plus a glimmer of moral obligation, perhaps. He and Lee Christmas quickly gear up, preparing their iconic seaplane, the Little Nelly of modern marks, for a scouting trip to Vilna. This isn't their usual smash and grab. They're going in quietly first, which is a testament to how seriously Barney takes Church's veiled threats. Or maybe he just fancies a scenic flight over a tropical paradise before the fireworks start. Our dynamic duo, Barney and Christmas, make a textbook covert insertion into Vilna, navigating the dense jungle like it's their backyard. They eventually reach a small, impoverished village where they meet Sandra, their local contact. She's a strong, principled woman, clearly burdened by the suffering of her people under Garza's regime. She's also Garza's daughter, which is, a slight complication. She's not exactly thrilled about the prospect of foreign mercenaries stirring up more trouble, but she understands the necessity of removing her tyrannical father. It's a classic setup. The hardened warriors meet the beacon of hope. As Barney and Christmas observe Garza's domain, the true horror of his regime becomes clear. Villagers are forced into slave labor, mining for something mysterious, under the cruel gaze of guards. It's a pretty grim picture, painting Garza as unequivocally evil, just in case you weren't sure. It's here they also get their first look at James Monroe, played with chilling calm by Eric Roberts, Garza's advisor, and pretty much the brains behind the villainy. Monroe's presence immediately elevates the threat. He's not just a thug, he's a calculating mercenary himself, which means our heroes are in for a proper challenge. Not just a bunch of cannon fodder. Predictably, their cover is blown because in these movies, secrets have a shorter shelf life than a pint of milk. In July, Monroe's goons burst into Sandra's hut, turning what was supposed to be a stealthy recon mission into an immediate, chaotic firefight. Barney and Christmas switch from observation mode to bullet ballet mode faster than you can say expendable. The cramped quarters make for intense close-range combat, with Christmas's knives flashing and Barney's pistol spitting lead. Sandra, caught in the middle, shows surprising resilience, helping them navigate the mayhem. It's a scramble to survive, and the sound of gunfire echoes through the village. With bullets zipping past them like angry bees, Barney, Christmas, and Sandra make a mad dash for their seaplane. It's a race against time, with Garza's men hot on their heels. The plane's engine roars to life, and they ascend, but not without a dramatic struggle. The plane gets absolutely peppered with bullets, showing off its incredibly durable, presumably vibranium-infused, exterior. It's a glorious, noisy escape, culminating in the plane just barely clearing the treetops, leaving a trail of smoke and destruction behind them. Sadly, they have to leave Sandra behind, a decision that clearly weighs heavily on Barney's conscience. Despite Christmas's logical arguments, back in the relative safety of the air, the mood in the plane is anything but celebratory. Barney is stewing in guilt, tormented by the image of Sandra left behind. Christmas, ever the pragmatist, tries to remind Barney that they had no choice, that it was a recon mission, and bringing her along would have been even more dangerous. He's right, of course, but logic rarely wins against a hero's moral compass. Barney's face is a masterclass in internal conflict. You can practically hear the gears grinding in his head as he grapples with the what-ifs and should-haves. The emotional weight of the mission is starting to show, adding a surprising layer of depth to our muscled protagonists. Back in the familiar confines of Toole's tattoo parlor, Barney is still a mess. He recounts the mission, the horror of Garza's rule, and his regret over leaving Sandra. Toole, ever the wise old sage, listens intently, offering a sympathetic ear and some hard-won wisdom about the nature of their work. He reminds Barney that sometimes you can't save everyone and that their job is to complete the mission, not to be saviors. It's a good moment, showcasing the bond between these two grizzled veterans and highlighting the moral ambiguities that often plague those who operate in the shadows. The clatter of tattoo needles provides a rhythmic, almost meditative, backdrop to their conversation while Barney's dealing with his conscience. Yin Yang, Jet Li's character, is dealing with his own frustrations. He feels undervalued and underpaid, especially given his unique skill set in hand-to-hand combat. He's also not thrilled with the team's constant bickering and the lingering tension from the gunner situation. He makes it clear that he's considering other options, which, for a mercenary team, is like a Brister threatening to go to Starbucks. It's a big deal. His quick, sharp movements during his training reflect his agitated state. The team, for all its brotherhood, is starting to show cracks under the pressure, suggesting that even hardened marks have their limits. We get a brief reprieve from the action to check in with Lee Christmas and his girlfriend. Lacey. Their relationship is, predictably, a bit of a roller coaster. Strained by Christmas's dangerous profession and his inability to commit fully, she expresses her longing for a normal life, while he grapples with the notion of leaving the only life he knows. It's a classic girlfriend wants him to settle down, he's too busy blowing things up scenario. The quiet intimacy of their scene is a stark contrast to the rest of the film, highlighting the personal sacrifices these characters make. And frankly, Statham trying to be a romantic lead is almost as entertaining as his knife fights. Back in Villainy, we get a clearer picture of Monroe's villainy. He isn't just Garza's advisor. He's the real power behind the throne, manipulating the general to facilitate a massive cocaine operation. The forced labor isn't for mining some obscure mineral, but for growing and processing drugs. Monroe, with his slick demeanor and ruthless efficiency, is a far more insidious threat than the blustering Garza. He's the kind of guy who'd smile while stabbing you in the back, and then send a bill for the knife. His casual dismissal of human life makes him a truly detestable antagonist, pushing the story into darker territory. After staring at a map for what feels like an eternity, Barney has a moment of clarity, or perhaps extreme stubbornness. He can't shake the image of Sandra, nor his guilt. He decides that rules be damned, church be damned, he's going back for her. This is a crucial turning point, moving the plot from a simple assassination mission to a personal rescue. It's a classic hero's journey beat, the protagonist choosing the morally right, albeit dangerous, path. The clenching of his jaw, the determined glint in his eye, you know once Barney Ross makes up his mind, there's no stopping him. Short of a small nuclear device, Barney rallies the troops, laying out his new, unauthorized mission, rescue Sandra from Villainy. He doesn't sugarcoat the risks. This is a suicide mission, defying direct orders and putting them all in serious hot water. But because they're the Expendables and Brotherhood trumps everything, the entire team, without a single objection, agrees to join him. Even Yin Yang, who was contemplating leaving, decides to stay, showing his loyalty. It's a testament to Barney's leadership and the deep bonds they share, proving that beneath all the muscle and sarcasm, there's a strong sense of camaraderie. The quiet determination on their faces is palpable. With everyone on board, including a Ray-energized Yin Yang who now feels properly appreciated, the Expendables launch into full preparation mode. Weapons are meticulously cleaned, sharpened, and loaded. Body armor is donned. It's a symphony of metallic clicks, whirs, and the satisfying thud of heavy gear being packed. They're not just preparing for a mission, they're preparing for war. The scene emphasizes their professionalism and deadly efficiency, showing that despite their gruff exteriors and penchant for witty banter, they are masters of their craft. This meticulousness is oddly comforting, knowing that every bullet and blade is ready for its grim purpose. The team makes their second, far more determined, approach to Villainy. This time, there's no recon. It's straight to business. They navigate the treacherous waters and dense jungle under the cloak of night, moving like shadows. The silence is broken only by the chirping of unseen insects and the rustle of leaves beneath their heavy boots. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation and danger. Every shadow could hide an enemy, every sound a trap. It's a masterful display of stealth from a group of guys who usually prefer to announce their rival with an explosion. Even I was surprised they could be so quiet. Once ashore, Barney meticulously divides the team, assigning each member to strategic positions. It's like watching a deadly chess game unfold, with each piece a walking, talking arsenal. Caesar with his hulking frame and massive shotgun, Christmas with his lightning-fast knives, Yin Yang with his martial arts prowess, and Toll Road with his brute strength. Each has a specific role in what's about to become a symphony of destruction. The methodical nature of their plan is a stark contrast to the chaos they're about to unleash, building an incredible amount of tension. You know that calm before the storm? This is it, cranked up to 11 dot, and then it begins. The first explosion rips through the night, a thunderous crack that signals the start of the Expendables' glorious rampage. It's not just an explosion, it's a declaration of war. What follows is pure, unadulterated mayhem. Bullets fly, bodies drop, and the air fills with the metallic tang of gunfire and the guttural shouts of men. Our heroes move with brutal efficiency, a whirlwind of fists, knives, and lead. The visual spectacle of coordinated destruction is breathtakingly gratuitous, just as it should be. The soundscape is a cacophony of booms, cracks, and screams. Enveloping the viewer in the chaos, Hail Caesar, played by Terry Crews, proves why you never bring a knife to a shotgun fight, especially when that shotgun is the fully automatic AA-12. He unleashes a veritable storm of lead, making short work of Garza's bewildered guards. The sheer concussive force of his weapon is almost a character in itself, rattling the screen with every deafening blast. It's pure, unadulterated, glorious success. Enemies are sent flying, doors are shredded, and probably a few laws of physics are bent in the process. He's a one-man army, leaving a trail of destruction that would make a demolition expert proud. Who needs subtle when you have a gun like that? Meanwhile, Lee Christmas is in his element, a whirlwind of steel and precision. He's not just using knives. He's conducting a ballet of lethal choreography. Every throw, every slash, every parry is executed with a fluidity that almost makes you forget he's, murdering people. The sound of his blades whizzing through the air, followed by a sickening thud, is wonderfully visceral. He weaves through the chaos, a phantom of death, proving that sometimes the quietest kills are the most effective. It's a beautiful, brutal display of practical combat skills. A refreshing change from the endless barrage of bullets. Though we still get plenty of those. Barney, laser focused on finding Sandra, carves his own path of destruction through the compound. He's a force of nature, moving with a grim determination that transcends mere efficiency. Every headshot is precise, every hand-to-hand move impactful. He doesn't waste motion, he simply eliminates obstacles. The crack of his pistol is a constant refrain, punctuating the larger symphony of explosions and screams. You can feel the sheer physical effort in every punch, every pivot. It's a relentless, visceral journey, underscored by the constant threat of being overwhelmed by Garza's seemingly endless supply of henchmen. This is Barney Ross in his purest, most deadly form. Monroe's forces, unlike Garza's ragtag army, are actually competent. They mount a fierce counterattack, pushing back against the Expendables. The clatter of their automatic weapons and the thud of their tactical gear create a more professional, organized sound of warfare, contrasting with the earlier chaos. Our heroes are forced to adapt, using cover and coordinating their movements to avoid being overrun. It's a nail-biting exchange, showcasing the tactical prowess of both sides. Monroe watches from a safe distance, his cold, calculating gaze confirming he's enjoying every second of the bloodshed. A truly despicable villain if there ever was one. As the battle rages, Monroe orchestrates the ultimate betrayal. He turns his own men, led by the hulking Payne, against Garza's remaining loyalists. Garza, completely blindsided, watches in horror as his empire crumbles from within. Monroe, with a chilling calmness, explains that Garza has outlived his usefulness and that the drug operation is now solely his. The crack of a pistol as Monroe's men eliminate Garza's last defenders is sharp and decisive. It's a brutal, cold-blooded display of power, proving Monroe is a master manipulator, not just a hired gun. Garza's horrified expression is priceless. The poor guy never saw it coming. Meanwhile, Lee Christmas finds himself in a truly grueling brawl with Payne, Monroe's towering, incredibly strong enforcer. This isn't a graceful knife fight. This is a street brawl, full of heavy thuds, grunts, and the sickening sound of bone meeting flesh. Payne is a relentless, animalistic force, and Christmas, for all his agility, is clearly outmatched in raw power. The choreography is brutal and impactful, emphasizing the sheer physical toll of the fight. Every blow lands with a visceral impact that makes you wince, and you genuinely start to worry if Christmas will make it out of this one in one piece. This guy definitely skipped leg day to focus on punching. Barney finally catches up to Monroe, leading to their first intense, if brief, clash. It's less a fight and more a furious exchange of blows, a desperate attempt by Barney to get his hands on the man who orchestrated so much suffering. Monroe, surprisingly capable in a fight, manages to hold his own, but his true strength lies in his cunning. The sounds are sharp, impactful, the crunch of a fist, the scrape of a foot, the sharp intake of breath. This initial encounter serves as a tantalizing preview of the ultimate showdown, confirming that these two are destined for a proper, climactic battle. General Garza, now fully aware of Monroe's treachery and with his own forces decimated, finds himself cornered. In a moment of desperate pride, he attempts a futile last stand. It's a brief, pathetic display of defiance, quickly extinguished by Monroe's ruthless mercenaries. The rapid crack of multiple automatic weapons seals his fate. His downfall is a grim reminder that in this world, even dictators are expendable when a bigger, badder villain comes along. The satisfying thud of his body hitting the ground is the sound of tyranny briefly silenced, albeit by an even worse tyrant. Now for the main event. The Expendables lead Monroe's pursuing forces onto a strategically booby-trapped bridge. This isn't just any bridge. It's a bridge designed to explode with maximum cinematic flair. As Monroe's vehicles drive onto it, a series of charges detonate, turning the entire structure into a colossal fireball and sending vehicles, soldiers, and concrete flying through the air. The roar of the explosion is deafening, the visual impact immense. It's a slow-motion masterpiece of destruction, proving once again that when the Expendables want to make an exit, they do it with a bang and then some. I'm pretty sure the bridge had it coming, though. With the bridge gone, Barney finally has his uninterrupted showdown with Monroe. This is the big one, a raw, visceral fight to the death. They exchange powerful blows, each strike resonating with the weight of their opposing ideologies. Barney's fighting for something personal, while Monroe's fighting for his twisted ambition. The sounds are gritty, painful, the rasp of heavy breathing, the sickening crunch of bone. Ultimately, Barney gains the upper hand, delivering a fatal blow that ends Monroe's reign of terror. It's a cathartic moment, the villain finally vanquished, leaving a satisfying silence in his wake. Not to be outdone, Lee Christmas, still locked in his brutal struggle with pain, finds a truly creative way to finish off his seemingly indestructible foe. Using a motorcycle because why not? He manages to impale Payne against a pillar. It's a moment of both desperation and ingenious brutality, proving that even when physically outmatched, Christmas's wit and agility are his greatest weapons. The sound of metal twisting and the final, guttural roar from Payne is a fitting end to that intense brawl. It's probably the most practical use of a motorcycle in an action movie. Honestly, with the villains defeated and the compound crumbling, Barney finally finds Sandra, alive and relatively unharmed. Their brief, relieved embrace is a quiet, emotional anchor amidst the surrounding chaos. The rest of the team gathers, a little more battered, a lot more bruised, but triumphant. They then make their final, dramatic escape from the now collapsing compound, with more explosions providing a fiery backdrop. The roar of the engines and the wind whipping past them signifies their definitive departure from Vilna, leaving behind a smoking ruin and a newly liberated people. It's a perfect encapsulation of walking away from an explosion without looking back. Back in the familiar dimness of Church's meeting place, Barney receives his payment. Despite defying orders and turning a simple assassination into a full-scale liberation, Church grudgingly pays up. There's a sarcastic quip about how much this off-the-books operation cost him, but beneath the grumbling, there's a hint of respect for Barney's actions. It's a moment of begrudging validation, a tacit acknowledgement that sometimes breaking the rules is the only way to do the right thing. The crisp rustle of banknotes is a stark contrast to the roar of explosions from moments before. In a surprisingly poignant moment, Barney meets Sandra again. Instead of keeping the blood money, he hands her a substantial portion of it, instructing her to use it to rebuild Vilna. It's a gesture of profound respect and hope, a redemption for his earlier guilt. Sandra, visibly moved, accepts the money, understanding its potential to change her country's future. It's a quiet, powerful scene that underscores the underlying humanity of these hardened mercenaries, proving they're not just in it for the cash. They're still a bunch of dudes who blow stuff up, but with a heart of gold. Apparently, the movie winds down with the Expendables doing what they do best, driving off into the sunset, laughing, celebrating, and probably planning their next impossible mission. The bond between them is stronger than ever, forged in fire, explosions, and countless bullets. They're not just a team. They're a family, a brotherhood of misfits who found their purpose in chaos. It reminds us that even in a world full of cynical mercenaries, there's room for honor, loyalty, and a whole lot of gratuitous violence. They know they're expendable, but together, they're unbreakable. And so, as our heroes disappear over the horizon, we're left reflecting on the enduring appeal of these grizzled warriors. The Expendables isn't just a movie about big muscles and bigger explosions. It's a testament to camaraderie, to fighting for what you believe in, and to the idea that even the most broken among us can find purpose in protecting the innocent. It's a reminder that true strength isn't just about physical prowess, but about loyalty, resilience, and the courage to stand up against tyranny, no matter the odds. Their journey reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't gold or power, but the bonds forged in the fires of shared experience. Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the explosive world of Expendables, the latest installment in the saga of humanity's most over-the-top, perpetually armed geriatric action heroes. We're talking more firepower than a small nation, more muscles than a bodybuilder convention, and enough one-liners to fill a stand-up special. Get ready for a high-octane ride that dials up the absurdity to 11, and then probably blows up the dial itself. This is a passion project for me, and a like or a subscribe is the best way to show your support. So if you're on board, join the crew. If not, thanks for watching anyway. The film kicks off with the OG crew, Barney, Lee Christmas, Gunner, Toll Road, and Easy Day, gearing up for a mission in Libya. Their target? A mercenary named Swarto, who's planning to steal nuclear detonators for a mysterious terrorist known only as Ocelot. Barney, ever the grizzled leader, lays out the plan with his usual calm intensity, the rumble of the chopper barely drowning out the metallic click of weapons being checked. The team's synergy is palpable, a well-oiled machine ready to tackle another impossible task, even if their knees creak a bit more than they used to upon landing. The team is immediately plunged into chaos. It's less of a covert insertion and more of a let's just kick the hornet's nest and see what happens approach. Explosions rip through the desert air, dust and debris flying everywhere as Swarto's forces spring a meticulously planned ambush. The familiar rhythm of gunfire, the sharp crack of rounds impacting metal, and the distant screams of combatants fill the air. Lee Christmas, with his signature knives, slices through opponents with balletic precision, a grim determination etched on his face. Gunner and Toll Road unleash a symphony of destruction with their heavy weaponry, turning enemy vehicles into fiery wreckage. Easy Day provides cover with his sniper rifle, his shots finding their marks with chilling accuracy. It's a beautifully choreographed ballet of bullets and brawn, a reminder that despite the years, these guys still know how to throw a party. A very violent party. The desert sand becomes a canvas for their unique brand of mayhem, painted with the hues of smoke and fire. In the thick of the firefight, things get complicated. Swarto and his men manage to get their hands on the nuclear detonators because, of course, the bad guys always get a head start. Lee Christmas, always a maverick, breaks off from the main team to pursue them solo on his motorcycle. He weaves through the chaotic streets of what appears to be a very poorly maintained Libyan marketplace, narrowly avoiding vendors and their unlucky wares. The sound of his roaring engine is punctuated by the occasional clang of metal. He clips a stall or two. It's a chase scene straight out of an old-school arcade game, with Christmas expertly navigating obstacles, all while still dispatching enemies with casual efficiency. His knives are a blur, his movements fluid and deadly. The objective is clear: retrieve those detonators, no matter how many fruit stands or ceramic pots get annihilated in the process. The stakes are global. but Christmas's focus is laser sharp. His eyes fixed on the retreating truck, the fate of the world resting on his very fast, very sharp hands. As Christmas closes in, Barney decides to provide some air support. Swooping in with a small, seemingly indestructible plane, he unleashes a barrage of gunfire, attempting to neutralize Swarto's vehicle. However, Swarto, proving himself to be more than just a typical henchman, manages to fire back, hitting Barney's plane with a well-aimed shot. The plane immediately erupts into a spectacular fireball, a colossal explosion that lights up the entire sky and sends a shockwave through the air. The sound is deafening, a true testament to the movie's commitment to go big or go home pyrotechnics. Christmas watches in horror, a rare moment of genuine vulnerability flashing across his hardened face as he witnesses his best friend and mentor seemingly perish in the inferno. The metallic shriek of the plane's disintegration is sickening, and the subsequent silence, once the dust begins to settle, is even more profound. It's a gut punch and unexpected twist that leaves both the characters and the audience reeling. In the aftermath of the Libya mission, the team is devastated. Barney Ross, the man who held them all together, is gone, and the detonators are still out there. Christmas, particularly, is hit hard. He's haunted by Barney's last words, a cryptic message about something hidden, which feels less like a clue and more like a cruel taunt from beyond the grave. To add insult to injury, he's effectively benched by the CIA, deemed a liability for failing the mission and seemingly causing Barney's death. We find him brooding in a dimly lit bar, the clinking of ice in his glass the only sound besides his heavy sighs. The weight of his guilt and the loss of his friend are palpable, a thick, suffocating blanket of despair. He's stripped of his signature knives, which for an expendable is probably worse than losing a limb. The metallic scrape of his boots against the bar floor echoes his inner turmoil. It's a rare moment of introspection in a franchise known for its relentless action, showcasing a deeper emotional toll on our heroes. Even if it's brief, with the world still teetering on the brink of nuclear disaster, the CIA decides it's time for some new blood because apparently, even expendables can't fight forever, though they certainly try. Enter CIA Agent Marsh, a slick, no-nonsense operative who summons the surviving expendables to a secret briefing. He introduces them to their fresh faces, Gina, a formidable operative and Christmas's ex-girlfriend, who clearly has some unresolved issues. Lesh, a highly skilled martial artist with a penchant for flashy moves. Galen, a younger, enthusiastic fighter with some big shoes to fill. And finally, Mars, the resident tech and demolitions expert. The room crackles with an awkward tension, a clash of old-school grit and new-school flair. The older crew, still nursing their wounds both physical and emotional, eye the newcomers with a mixture of skepticism and a flicker of hope. The metallic hum of the air conditioning unit in the briefing room seems to mock the quiet unease. It's like watching your favorite rock band reluctantly accept a new, younger bass player. Change is in the air, and it smells faintly of impending explosions and forced camaraderie. Marsh gets down to business, explaining that the missing nuclear detonators are now in the hands of a ruthless terrorist named Ramit, who is believed to be the elusive Ocelot. Ramit is a shadowy figure known for his brutality and cunning, making him a prime candidate for a global threat. The mission is clear: retrieve the detonators and neutralize Ramit before he can unleash nuclear devastation. The new team, eager to prove their worth, absorbs every detail, while the veterans, hardened by years of similar briefings, listen with a quiet intensity. The mission objective is projected holographically, depicting Ramat's known whereabouts and operational tactics, all presented with the slick efficiency you'd expect from a government agency that's probably already tracking your browser history. The air in the briefing room feels heavy with the weight of expectation and the metallic scent of tension. It's time to put old grudges aside and focus on the bigger picture, stopping the end of the world, one explosive encounter at a time. The fate of millions once again rests on the shoulders of this rather motley crew. The team boards a transport plane, heading to a remote base in Thailand, which seems to be the preferred exotic locale for covert operations in every action movie ever made. During the flight, we get a glimpse into the complicated dynamic between Gina and Christmas. Their banter is sharp, laced with years of history and unspoken feelings, a stark contrast to the quiet hum of the plane's engines. It's clear there's still a spark, buried under layers of professional rivalry and past hurt. Meanwhile, Lash and Galen, the eager newbies, try to make sense of the veterans' gruff personalities and legendary reputations. Mars, the tech guy, is probably already hacking into the plane's entertainment system or something equally nerdy. The metallic rumble of the aircraft serves as a constant reminder of their journey, a journey that blends personal drama with global stakes. The beautiful aerial shots of lush Thai landscapes offer a brief, serene contrast to the impending chaos, a calm before the storm. This quieter moment is a chance to breathe before the bullets inevitably start flying again. Just when you thought the Expendables roster had lost a crucial member, the movie pulls a classic action flick move. Barney Ross is alive. Turns out his death was a clever ruse, part of a deeper, more clandestine operation. We see him in a shadowy back alley, the metallic clatter of distant city life barely audible, meeting with a contact, his trademark cigar firmly in place. He's been secretly tracking Ramit, using his apparent demise as a cover to operate outside the official channels, probably because bureaucracy just gets in the way of proper explosive fun. He's been piecing together clues, a bit like a grizzled detective, but with more firepower and less tweed. The reveal is a welcome relief, like finding that your favorite snack wasn't actually eaten by your roommate. The quiet intensity of his movements, the almost imperceptible rustle of his leather jacket, speak volumes about his unwavering dedication. It's a testament to his character that even in death, he's still working to save the world, probably while muttering about how everyone else is doing it wrong. Meanwhile, Ramit, unaware that Barney is playing a very elaborate game of peekaboo, is busy at his desolate factory hideout, preparing the detonators. The scene is grim, industrial, and filled with the low hum of machinery and the metallic clang of tools. He's a truly menacing figure, exuding a quiet menace that suggests he's not just a pawn in a bigger game. He speaks to his underlings with a cold, calculated tone, his words punctuated by the occasional clatter of equipment. His motives are still shrouded in mystery, but his intent to cause widespread destruction is abundantly clear. The stakes are raised and the clock is ticking not just for the detonators, but for the entire world, which is about to get a rather rude awakening. The visual of the cold, impersonal machinery against the chilling reality of nuclear weapons creates a palpable sense of dread. Ramat's quiet confidence suggests he has a plan B, C, and probably an entire alphabet of backup plans. The new and old Expendables team infiltrates Ramat's factory complex. Moving like ghosts through the shadows, the metallic scent of stale oil and industrial grime hanging heavy in the air. The initial approach is surprisingly stealthy, a rare moment of quiet before the storm. But as with all Expendables missions, stealth is more of a suggestion than a strict rule. Soon enough, an alarm blares, shattering the silence, and the factory explodes into a symphony of gunfire and shouts. It's a classic Expendables ambush scenario, or perhaps a classic Expendables we forgot to check for that one guy with the tripwire scenario. Gina and Lash display their impressive combat skills, their movements fluid and brutal, a whirlwind of fists and feet. Galen, eager to prove himself, charges into the fray with youthful exuberance. The metallic crack of gunfire echoes off the factory walls, mixing with the satisfying crunch of bones and the occasional grunt of a defeated foe. It's a beautifully choreographed mess, a testament to the team's ability to turn any situation into a high-octane brawl, while the main team is busy creating a glorious ruckus. Christmas, still somewhat on the outs but always a key player, finds a way back into the fight, armed with a fresh set of knives. He's a one-man wrecking crew, a blur of motion and sharp edges, taking on multiple guards with lethal grace. The metallic chic of his knives piercing fabric and flesh is a chilling sound. He's trying to reach the detonators, believing he can make up for his past perceived failures. His movements are precise, every strike calculated, a whirlwind of controlled violence. It's a poignant display of his determination, fueled by grief and a desire for redemption. The crack of bone, the muffled thud of bodies hitting the ground, and the sharp hiss of his breath as he exerts himself all contribute to the visceral intensity of the scene. He's not just fighting enemies. He's fighting his own demons, attempting to carve a path to absolution through sheer force of will and very sharp objects, just as the team seems to be gaining the upper hand. The rug is pulled out from under them. Ramit reveals he's been playing them all along, and the factory is a meticulously prepared trap. The metallic clang of suddenly activated security systems, the rhythmic click of laser grids, and the sudden appearance of overwhelming enemy forces underscore their precarious situation. The air crackles with tension as the team realizes they're surrounded, their escape routes cut off. Ramit, with a chillingly calm demeanor, taunts them, revealing he never intended to use the detonators himself. He's merely a distraction, a very convincing decoy for the real mastermind, Ocelot. The Expendables, for all their experience, are caught off guard, a rare moment of vulnerability for the seemingly invincible crew. The sudden, deafening silence after Ramat's reveal amplifies the shock, leaving them momentarily stunned, the weight of their potential failure pressing down on them. And here comes the big reveal. The twist that makes you go, of course. It was so obvious, or was it? CIA Agent Marsh, the man who supposedly assembled the new team and briefed them, dramatically sheds his skin, or rather, his elaborate disguise, revealing himself to be the real Ocelot. The metallic snick of a zipper or the almost imperceptible rustle of a latex mask as it's pulled away heightens the moment. He's been manipulating the Expendables, using them as unwitting pawns in his grand scheme to spark a global conflict for reasons that are probably supervillain-wide and complicated. The air fills with gasps of disbelief from the team, and probably a few groans from the audience who saw it coming a mile away. His voice, once calm and authoritative, now drips with sinister satisfaction. It's a classic betrayal, delivered with all the dramatic flair of a Bond villain. The clench of fists, the gritted teeth of the Expendables, all signal that this just got very, very personal. The ground beneath their feet suddenly feels a lot less stable. With Ocelot's true identity revealed, the team finds themselves in a tight spot, captured, bound, and facing what looks like an imminent demise. But these are the Expendables, not the expendable to a simple rope crew. The metallic rasp of restraints, the slight creak of strained muscles hint at the struggle. They quickly use their combined ingenuity and sheer brute force to break free, turning their captivity into another opportunity for a glorious, bone-crunching brawl. The air fills with the satisfying thud of fists connecting with faces, the occasional grunt of a guard, and the triumphant roar of the Expendables as they unleash their pent-up fury. It's a chaotic ballet of violence, a testament to their unwavering spirit and their refusal to go down without a fight. Gina, Lash, and Galen prove their mettle, fighting alongside the veterans with ferocious intensity. The metallic scent of blood and sweat hangs heavy in the air. This isn't just an escape. It's a declaration of war against their betrayer. The clatter of falling bodies and the distant alarm bells serve as a soundtrack to their defiant resurgence, just when all hope seems lost, and the team is surrounded by an overwhelming number of Ocelot's goons. A familiar roar echoes through the factory. The metallic screech of tires, the roar of an engine, and then, with a thunderous crash, Barney Ross bursts through a wall on his motorcycle, a literal deus ex machina on two wheels. He's back, baby! His entrance is nothing short of iconic, a glorious display of defiance and perfectly timed heroism. The sound of splintering concrete and twisted rebar mixes with the frantic shouts of enemies. He wastes no time, immediately plunging into the fray, his weapons blazing, his presence reigniting the team's morale. The sight of their presumed dead leader, cigar in mouth and a glint in his eye, is all they need. The metallic clang of bullets ricocheting off his bike, the roar of his engine, and the booming sound of his shotgun make it clear he means business. It's a truly cathartic moment, a surge of adrenaline that transforms the tide of the battle and reminds everyone that you don't mess with the Expendables, especially not when Barney's around. Barney, having meticulously tracked Ocelot's movements, reveals that the villain is now aboard a massive cargo ship. sailing towards an undisclosed location where he plans to unleash his master plan. The metallic creak of the ship's hull against the waves, the distant hum of its engines, create an eerie atmosphere. The Expendables, now reunited and more determined than ever, stealthily board the vessel under the cloak of night, the metallic splash of water against the ship's side their only company. This is it, the final showdown. The ship is a labyrinth of steel carters and cargo containers, a perfect battleground for the kind of chaotic, close-quarters combat the team excels at. The air is thick with the scent of salt and impending doom. The anticipation is palpable, a silent agreement among the team that this is personal. And Ocelot is about to learn a very painful lesson about underestimating a bunch of grizzled old-timers and their energetic new recruits. The low thrum of the ship's generators vibrates through the soles of their boots, a rhythm of impending conflict. Once aboard, all pretense of stealth is quickly abandoned, as it usually is with these guys. The ship's deck erupts into a spectacular symphony of explosions and gunfire. It's a chaotic ballet of bullets, brawn, and beautiful destruction. Gunner and Tow Road unleash hell with their heavy machine guns, turning enemy henchmen into unfortunate statistics. The deafening roar of automatic weapons, the percussive thud of grenades, and the metallic ping of ricocheting bullets fill the night. Lee Christmas and Gina, putting their personal issues aside, fight side by side, a deadly duo of knives and martial arts. The satisfying thwack of a well-placed punch, the swift whoosh of a knife blade, and the muffled grunts of their opponents are a constant soundtrack. Galen and Lash engage in acrobatic combat, their moves fluid and efficient. Even Mars gets in on the action, showing he's more than just brains. The deck becomes a war zone, bathed in the flashing lights of explosions and the eerie glow of emergency lamps. The ship groans under the relentless assault, its metallic structure echoing the violence unfolding on its surface, while the main team keeps the deck busy. Barney and Christmas head deep into the ship's belly, navigating the cramped, steamy corridors of the engine room. The air is thick with the smell of oil and hot metal, the rhythmic thrum of the massive engines vibrating through their bones. The metallic clang of pipes and the hiss of steam add to the oppressive atmosphere. It's a claustrophobic environment, perfect for a tense cat and mouse game. They encounter more of Ocelot's goons, engaging in brutal, close-quarters combat. Christmas, with his quick reflexes and deadly knives, is in his element, his movements economical and precise. Barney, ever the pragmatist, uses his brute strength and experience to clear a path. Their banter is sparse but effective, a testament to their long-standing partnership. The metallic clunk of wrenches, the sizzle of steam, and the muffled sounds of the distant firefight above are the only witnesses to their grim determination. They're getting closer to Ocelot, and the tension is ratcheting up with every step. Romet, proving he's more than just a diversion, makes his final stand, confronting Gina on a precarious catwalk high above the ship's machinery. It's a brutal, no-holds-barred hand-to-hand fight, a raw display of strength and skill. The metallic ping of their blows echoing through the vast space, the frantic whoosh of air as a punch misses its mark, and the grunts of exertion are amplified by the industrial surroundings. Gina, fueled by anger and a thirst for justice, matches Romet blow for blow. The metallic clang of their fists against the railing, the slight tremble of the catwalk under their feet, and the sharp hiss of their breathing add to the palpable tension. It's a fight that highlights her formidable abilities and her unwavering resolve. The stakes are personal, the blows are visceral, and the outcome feels genuinely uncertain. A rare feeling in a movie where the good guys usually win with an explosion and a smirk. Finally, the Expendables converge on Ocelot, who stands before a console, a smug grin plastered on his face. He's not trying to escape. He's here to watch the world burn. With a dramatic flourish, he activates the nuclear detonators, initiating a countdown that immediately fills the ship with an ominous, rhythmic beep. Beep, beep. The metallic click of buttons and the low hum of activated machinery further amp up the tension. He reveals his ultimate goal, to ignite a war between global superpowers, using the ensuing chaos to reshape the world to his liking. It's a classic villain monologue, delivered with theatrical relish, his voice cutting through the building dread. The red digital numbers on the countdown clock glow menacingly, a stark reminder of the rapidly approaching catastrophe. The entire team, exhausted but resolute, realizes they're in a race against time, not just against Ocelot, but against the very fabric of reality. The metallic scent of ozone seems to fill the air, foreshadowing the impending explosion. The final confrontation unfolds with Barney and Christmas facing off against Ocelot. It's a brutal, desperate struggle, a metallic symphony of fists, feet, and frantic breathing. The metallic clang of a punch connecting, the strained grunts of exertion, and the frantic beep, beep, beep of the detonator timer fill the air. Ocelot, despite his villainous nature, proves to be a formidable fighter, surprisingly agile and ruthless. He's not just a mastermind. He's a physical threat, which is always a nice bonus in these movies. Barney and Christmas, drawing on their decades of experience and their unbreakable bond, fight with everything they have. Every blow is loaded with years of friendship, loyalty, and a shared desire to protect the world. The metallic scrape of boots on the steel floor, the muffled thud of bodies impacting, and the occasional sharp cry of pain are visceral and intense. It's a fight for more than just survival. It's a fight for humanity's future, delivered with maximum impact and enough explosive energy to power a small city. The stakes are astronomically high, and every punch feels like it carries the weight of the world, while Barney and Christmas are busy ensuring Ocelot gets a well-deserved beat down. Mars, the team's tech expert, races against the clock to disarm the nuclear detonators. It's a classic action movie trope, but always effective. The frantic clicking of keys, the metallic whirring of internal mechanisms, and the rapidly decreasing countdown. Wires spark, screens flash with incomprehensible data, and the tension is ratcheted up to 11. His fingers fly across the console, every movement precise and deliberate, sweat beading on his brow. The pressure is immense, the fate of the world literally resting on his ability to decipher a complex code or cut the right wire. Probably the red one, because it's always the red one. The metallic clack of a connecting cable, the low hum of circuitry, and the almost silent tick, tick, tick of the timer fill the air. The rest of the team holds their breath, their eyes fixed on Mars, knowing that even the smallest mistake could mean global annihilation. It's a nail-biting sequence, culminating in either triumph or a very large, very regrettable explosion. In the chaos of the fight and the struggle to disarm the detonators, the ship suffers critical damage. Whether it's from Ocelot's self-destruct mechanism, a stray bullet, or simply the Expendables being themselves, the vessel is doomed. The metallic groan of twisting steel, the shuddering of the deck, and a series of massive, ear-splitting explosions rip through the ship. It's a magnificent display of destruction, a true send-off for the villain and his ill-gotten gains. The ship erupts into a colossal fireball, collapsing into the ocean in a shower of sparks and debris, the sound of the fiery inferno a deafening roar. The team, having narrowly escaped, watches from a safe distance, the orange glow of the explosion reflecting in their eyes. There's a moment of stunned silence, followed by the metallic click of a weapon being holstered and a collective sigh of relief. It's a reminder that even when things go perfectly, the Expendables still manage to leave a path of beautifully rendered, thoroughly satisfying destruction in their wake. With the world saved again and Ocelot neutralized, the Expendables gather to lick their wounds and, more importantly, celebrate their victory. Barney, cigar in hand, shares a knowing look with Christmas, a silent acknowledgement of their enduring partnership and the sheer audacity of their survival. The metallic clink of glasses, the easy laughter, and the gentle roar of an unseen ocean in the background create a sense of calm after the storm. The new recruits, now fully initiated into the chaotic family, have earned their stripes, their faces bearing the scars of battle and the pride of accomplishment. Gina and Christmas share a moment that hints at a rekindled spark, suggesting that even in the midst of global peril, love finds a way. Or at least a very strong won't they dynamic. The scene is a testament to their unbreakable bond, a found family united by bullets, explosions, and an unshakable commitment to saving the world. Usually with a good deal of sarcasm and heavy artillery, the camaraderie is palpable, a warm contrast to the cold steel and fire they've just endured. As the sun sets on another saved world, Barney Ross takes a long drag from his cigar, a twinkle in his eye, and perhaps a subtle wink at the camera. It's the kind of moment that reassures us that no matter how many times they save the day, no matter how many explosions they walk away from, the Expendables will always be there, ready for the next impossible mission. The metallic click of a lighter, the gentle puff of smoke, and the distant sounds of ocean waves provide a serene backdrop. Their journey isn't just about the explosions and the one-liners. It's about the resilience of friendship, the enduring spirit of heroism, and the fact that sometimes you just need a bunch of grizzled action legends to blow stuff up to make the world a better place. The film closes, leaving us with the comforting thought that somewhere out there, Barney and his crew are probably already gearing up for their next ridiculously dangerous, utterly explosive adventure. It reminds us that even heroes need a hobby, and theirs just happens to involve saving the world with extreme prejudice.